Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I'm here because I think this is an extraordinarily important and should be a bipartisan effort in reauthorizing the brownfields law, and our colleague, Ms. Esty, will introduce a bill today, which I support to do that. I was here when the original brownfields bill was approved. It was actually done by a voice vote in the House, and UC in the Senate, and signed by President George W. Bush. So this certainly has a bipartisan legacy. It's been tremendously successful with one exception, and that exception has already been mentioned by my colleague, the ranking member, Ms. Napolitano, which is the lack of adequate funding. I'll just give one quick example of how useful these funds have been. My largest city, Eugene, Oregon, got a $680,000 site assessment grant back in 2013. They assessed 15 specific properties, and development was planned and redevelopment for all those properties. And in fact, and by the way, this can be obtained locally, the famous Ninkasi Brewery, which makes Ninkasi beer, now marketed in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm not being Kellyanne Conaway here. I'm just promoting something that... And they're on a former Eugene brownfield, and they've gone from 2 employees to 100. So there is tremendous leverage of private investment in recapturing these assets, many of which are in urban areas where the property can be very valuable. Initially, and that was quite some time ago, 15 years ago, we were appropriating $250 million annually. Obviously, there's been inflation since then, but now we're been closer to $160, and the current administration is perhaps proposing further cuts or elimination of the program. Ms. Napolitano mentioned the EPA's estimate that over the past 5 years that they've only been able to fund 1 in 4 of the applications, and that means we've foregone tens of thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in leveraged private investment. Now, our former colleague, Mr. Mulvaney, has suggested that the administration will only fund programs that work. Well, I would say that if they want to leverage private investment and they're looking for a program that works, they should be proposing an increase in funding for this program rather than a decrease. I look forward to the hearing, and I look forward, hopefully, to bipartisan efforts to reauthorize and enhance this program. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. DeFazio.